When the church really turns the world upside down, it's because it understands its mission. But Answers for Living, we want to look at two other aspects that make a church capable of changing the world. Here's one point. The church must be pro-Jesus, not anti-everything else. As the church in Ephesus grew in their faith, they stopped going to the temple of Artemis, and they stopped buying silver shrines of their temple goddess. But they didn't go and picket the temple, and they didn't speak against the temple, and they didn't riot against the temple, and they didn't rob anything from the temple, even though the temple stood for everything evil against the one true God. The church in Ephesus was just simply pro-Jesus. They loved people like Jesus loved. They were full of grace and mercy like Jesus. People they disagreed with, they still loved. They didn't attack people. Jesus didn't attack the normal people. If Jesus were to come and attack Dave, and attack Dave, and attack Dave, and then say to Dave, hey, I want you to follow me, I would say, no way. All you do is attack me. But if I know you disagree with me or my lifestyle, but you still love me and show me grace and mercy, then when I hear the gospel, I might be receptive. We need to be pro-Jesus. The church knew their lives were changed. And if enough lives were changed, they would change the culture of their community. You can't change a culture by attacking it. You change enough people, and the culture will just naturally change. And the second thing is this: the church was a movement. It wasn't about a moment. A moment is about, where do you go to church? Or when do you go to church? Or when you die, where are you going? I'm going to heaven. Well, that's a moment, okay? But a movement is different. A movement is daily I'm living like Jesus. Daily I am pro-Jesus. Daily I take Jesus to my friends. Daily I walk in love so that he can change lives. I had a Mormon friend. He came to me and he asked me what was wrong with Mormonism. And I asked him why he was asking, and he said to me, well, I know you well enough that if we were right, you would be a Mormon. So I want to know what's wrong with Mormonism. Well, that led to a discussion, and I said to him, I'm not into attacking different religions. But what I'll do is I'll ask you a question, and you tell me what your religion teaches, and then I'll tell you what the Bible teaches. He said, okay. Well, that led to 2 hours of conversation in my backyard. He gave his life to Christ that day. Later that week, his wife came to my front door, knocked on the front door and said, whatever you gave my husband, I want it too. The Christian faith is a movement. It's about life change that changes other people's lives. I choose to follow Jesus. My life changes by the power of the Holy Spirit. My family then believes, begins to follow Jesus. Then my family life improves. Then my relationships that I have at work and on a ball team or on a school board or on a borough council or in my community begins to influence others to follow Jesus. And if enough people turn to follow Jesus and choose to sell out for the Lord, cities and even states begin to be influenced by the presence of many Christians living empowered by the Holy Spirit.